Good day, everyone. Welcome to our lecture on Philippine literature. In this session, we will explore the meaning, importance, forms, and historical development of the Philippine literature. This lecture is designed to help you understand how literature reflects our culture, history, and Filipino identity. So the word literature comes from the Latin word litera, which means a letter. Literature refers to a written works that express ideas, emotions, thoughts, and human experiences. Through literature, people share stories about life, society, and the human condition. In many ways, literature is a reflection of how people think, feel, and live. Literature is often described as a faithful expression of human experiences. According to Brother Azurin, literature expresses the feelings of people toward society, government, a fellow man, and God. Webster defines literature as printed works that express ideas and emotions, whether real or imagined. What makes literature meaningful is its ability to remain relevant and significant even after many years. So let us move on to the importance of studying Philippine literature. We study Philippine literature to appreciate our literary heritage as Filipinos. It allows us to understand the traditions, beliefs, and values passed down by our ancestors. More importantly, literature strengthens our national identity and helps us understand who we are as a people. By studying our own literature, we also learn to respect other cultures while being proud of our own. Philippine literature in English. So, Philippine literature in English developed with the introduction of English as a medium of instruction during the American period. So, at first, Filipino writers imitated American styles, but over time, they learned to express Filipino experiences using the English language. So this literary tradition continues to grow and evolve up to the present. So the time frames of Philippine literature in English. So Philippine literature in English can be divided into several historical periods. This includes the periods of reorientation, imitation, and self-discovery, followed by the Japanese period, the rebirth of freedom, activism, the new society and the Third Republic, and the contemporary world, or the contemporary period. Each period reflects the social and political conditions of the country at that time. So the literature and history are closely connected. History is the records real events, while literature records the feelings, beliefs, and reactions of people towards those events. Even when literature is fictional, it still reflects the realities of society and the experiences of people during a particular time. So literature is generally divided into two major types, namely prose and poetry. So prose is written in sentences and paragraphs, while poetry is written in verse and often uses rhythm, rhyme, and imagery to express emotions. Prose includes several forms. Novel. It is a long narrative divided into chapter. And short story, it focuses on a single plot and a limited number of characters. Next is play. It is written to be performed on stage. And legends and fables are traditional stories that explains beliefs, origins, or teach moral lessons. Other prose forms includes anecdotes, which are short and meaningful stories. Next is essays, which expresses opinions or ideas. Biographies and autobiographies, which tell the life stories of individuals. And news, which reports real events. And orations, which are formal speeches delivered in public. Poetry, on the other hand, can be classified into three major types: narrative poetry, lyric poetry, and dramatic poetry. Each type serves a different purpose in expressing ideas, emotions, or stories. So, narrative poetry, it is a poetry that tells a story. An epic is a long poem that narrates heroic deeds such as the Biag ni Lamang. A metrical tale tells a story in verse form, while a ballad is a short poem that focuses on a single event. Now let us move on to lyric poetry. Lyric poetry expresses personal emotions and feelings. Examples include folk songs, which talk about love and life, sonnets, which consist of 14 lines, elegies, which expresses sorrow, odes, which praise a person or object, and a traditional Filipino poem such as awit, and corrido. Now, dramatic poetry, it is meant to be performed from the word dramatic. So, an example of this is a comedy. It is a light and humorous, while melodrama is emotional and often musical. Tragedy deals with serious themes and unhappy endings, and farce is an exaggerated situation for humor, and social plays address important social issues. Now let us move on to the pre-Spanish period. So before the arrival of the Spaniards, the Philippine literature was primarily oral. Stories, legends, epics, and folk songs were passed from one generation to another by word of mouth. Early Filipinos used the alibata writing system during this period. Now, in Spanish period, it is from 1565 to 1898. During the Spanish period, the Roman alphabet was introduced. Literature during this time focused mainly on religious themes and teachings. This period also marked the production of the first printed books in the Philippines. Important works in the Spanish period. So some important works during the Spanish period includes the Doctrina Christiana, which is the first printed book in the Philippines, the Passion, which narrates the life and suffering of Jesus Christ, and Urbana at Felisa, which taught proper behavior and good manners. Now for the period of Enlightenment, 1872 to 1898. Now, for the period of Enlightenment from 1872 to 1898, so the period of Enlightenment marked the awakening of Filipino nationalism. Writers used literature to expose abuses of the Spanish government and to call for reforms. Literature became a powerful tool for social and political change. Let us talk about the heroes at that time. So first is Dr. Jose Rizal, who used literature as a weapon for reform. His novels No Limitangere and El Filibusterismo exposed social injustices during the Spanish period. His poem, Mi Ultimo Adios, expressed his deep love for the country. Other propagandists or other writers during this period includes Marcelo H. del Pilar, Graciano Lopez Haina, Antonio Luna, and Mariano Ponce. Their essays, speeches, and articles help awaken the Filipino spirit of nationalism. Next is the period of revolution in 1896 to 1898. When peaceful reforms failed, the Filipinos stirred the revolution. The Katipunan was formed, and the literature during this period was inspired patriotism, unity, and courage among Filipinos. Next is American period. 1898 to 1841. During the American period, English became the medium of instruction. This led to the growth of the Philippine literature in English. Writers gradually developed their own style and voice, reflecting Filipino life and experiences. For the Japanese period, the length is 1941 to 1945. So during the Japanese occupation, English was prohibited. This resulted in the growth of literature written in Filipino and other local languages. Popular literary forms during this time included haiku and tanag. For the period of freedom from 1946 to 1970. After the World War II, freedom of expression was restored. Literature flourished once again with the rise of newspapers, magazines, poetry, and short stories. is the period of activism from 1970 to 1972. The period of activism was marked by youth involvement and social awareness. Writers used literature to protest social injustices and demand change in society. For the New Society period, from 1972 to 1981, during the New Society period under the martial law, freedom of expression was again limited. Literature focused on themes of nationalism, discipline, and government programs. After that was the rise of the Third Republic from 1981 to 1985. This period was marked by political unrest, especially after the assassination of Benigno Aquino Sr. Literature became a powerful medium for protest and resistance. Here comes the contemporary period from 1986 to present. After the People Power Revolution, democracy was restored. Contemporary Philippine literature is diverse, modern, and reflective of present-day issues and experiences. So, in conclusion, the Philippine literature mirrors our history, preserves our culture, and reflects our identity as Filipinos. Society continues to change, literature will continue to evolve and tell the story of the Filipino people.